Hey guys, Alex here, and I'm going to do a little vlog for you guys. I'm going to give you some of my advice when you're going to a convention. First off, I want to say I'm not a cosplayer. I've done it once. I did, me and my friend dressed up as Han Solo and Princess Leia for Metrocon. But I usually just go there dressed up as a regular non-costume person. But that said, I want to say I've been to pretty much every major convention in Florida this year. The exceptions being AFO, which is in Orlando. I missed that. I missed Mythicon, but I've been to tons of other conventions this year. I've been to Spooky Empire, MegaCon, Metrocon, which is in Tampa, SuperCon, which is in Miami. I've been to tons, basically. And if you guys follow my Twitter, you can see me post pictures for my conventions quite often. But anyways, yeah, I'm planning to go to some more conventions like in the near future. Spooky Empire is coming back to Orlando next week, or the week after next week. It's the 25th, 26th, and 27th. After that, start of November, there's a convention in Tampa where Crixus from the Spartacus series will be there. Manu Bennett. He's actually going to be there, and how awesome is that? And I plan to go to that too. And then there's a Hurricane Who convention, and I think the Sixth Doctor will be there along with some other people. But yeah, I like going to conventions, and I want to give you some of my advice for, well, my humble, inexperienced advice for going to these conventions based on my patterns. Like, I'm kind of peculiar when it comes to eating. Like, I don't really like to eat peasant food, which would include, like, you know, low-grade pizza, hot dogs, french fries, burgers. I can eat a burger. I would just have to take off the bun and just eat the patty. But yeah, I'm kind of picky when it comes to eating nowadays. So, let's go into my list of advice here. So, first off, I'm going to read from my computer. I wrote this out so I don't forget. The first thing you want to do research in advance of what conventions are coming to your state, or maybe just your city if you don't want to travel out of city. I like to go out of city, but it's more adventurous. But yeah, my city, Orlando, has tons of conventions, so I have the advantage of going to a lot of major conventions in Florida without leaving my city. But there's also conventions outside of Orlando, such as at Pensacola, Miami, Tampa, of course. So anyways, do research in advance to see when these conventions are coming, and when you go online, you want to keep checking the layouts. Like, for a person like myself, I go to these conventions for two reasons mainly. My first reason is my huge reason, and that's to meet celebrities. So always check the celebrity list. It's usually under media guests. Check who's coming, and check it frequently, because the list will always update. There can always be cancellations at the last second. And another reason is to meet other people like myself, geeks and nerds. And a lot of times these people will dress up wearing really awesome costumes. And you can ask them for pictures. Like, they're usually expecting to take pictures with other people, but you get to ask permission first. I'll get into that later on. Number two, if you do plan to cosplay, plan it really early, because it takes a while to get your costume together, and some people actually like to make their costumes. For my Han Solo costume, I pretty much bought most of my pieces separately. Like the vest, I got from a costume that was already made. Same with the shirt. For the pants, I just wore regular blue jeans, and then I got waterproof boots from Walmart for my Han Solo boots. And then for my gun, my blaster pistol, I got a toy gun, which was Star Wars themed, and I just painted it. I made a video showing me painting the Han Solo blaster to make it look more authentic. But also, make sure you check the rules on what kind of props you can bring in. Most of the conventions in Florida, you can bring weapons, you gotta check them in, but you have to make sure that the tip is still orange, so that it's clearly not, that it clearly does not look like a realistic weapon, because there will be police there sometimes, and they don't want people bringing real weapons to a convention. So make sure you check the safety guidelines for that too. That's kind of number kind of connected to number 2, I guess. Number 3, check the website frequently. I think I already mentioned this. Check to make sure there's no cancellations, because if you're going for a celebrity, there can always be cancellations at the last second. I went to the last, I think it was Spooky Empire, and Daryl from The Walking Dead, he had to cancel at the very last possible second. I think it was the day before the convention started. A lot of people were upset, but he had obligations to AMC, and that's where The Walking Dead is aired on. So understandable, but from a visitor's perspective, it's kind of upsetting if you come from out of the city, or even if you're a local, it's kind of upsetting that you spend money. But some people don't have all the money in the world and they want to meet this guy. But it's understandable that he couldn't make it for obligations to AMC. And also another reason to check is they can always add more celebrities. Like this convention I'm going to in Tampa, it's called oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it already. It's called Asylum, yes. They just added Crixus from the Spartacus series, Manu Bennett, and that just blew my mind, because I was only going there to meet Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and also to meet the guy from Terminator 2, the police Terminator. I don't know if you guys watched that movie. It's really old school. But he's going to be there, and I think some other people. It's not a very big convention, but the fact that Batman, the voice of Batman's going to be there, and the fact that Manu Bennett's going to be there, I'm definitely going. So yeah, always check the website frequently. Number 4, always use your internet or your phone's navigator to see what kind of restaurants are near the convention area. Some people aren't picky about what they eat. Like, the conventions will always provide food, but it's the kind of food that I label peasant food. Like, you're going to see pizza, which is really greasy. You're going to see hamburgers and french fries, which is not very healthy. Some people are really picky about what they eat, so make sure you do research on the restaurants near the convention area. If it's within walking distance, that's better, so you don't have to, lose your parking spot. Sometimes the parking spaces are really competitive. Sometimes they're not. It just depends. Because as I said, I've been to, I don't know, like 8 or 9, maybe 10 conventions this year already. Usually the parking isn't competitive, but sometimes it is. So if you have a really odd or peculiar eating habit, do research on what restaurants are nearby. And so let's move on. I'll touch on the subject later on about food. Let's see. Number 5, make sure your camera and video equipment and whatever kind of equipment you're bringing is operational. Check the night before. Make sure you charge all your batteries or whatever you need to do. Check your equipment the night before. But if it's not working and you go to the convention and you get no pictures, then you'll still have a good time, but you don't get to keep the memories unless you find yourself on another person's camera or your friend takes pictures for you. Let's see, number 6, do some research on the celebrity that you want to meet, get a photo op with, or whatnot, because sometimes these celebrities will have a conversation with you, and sometimes they'll ask you specifics about their works. Like, they'll ask you, so what was your favorite line from my movie or TV show? And sometimes you'll be like this, I don't know. I've never seen your stuff before. No. So yeah, always do research. Like, check the movies that they've been in or TV shows that they've been in. Research some of the famous quotes. Find out where they're from. But I've seen people in front of me who met a celebrity and then they said, good job on this movie, and then celebrity was like, I was never in that movie. But I mean, I'm sure the celebrity understands, but from your standpoint, you don't want to look dumb, so don't do that. Oh crap, I didn't number the rest of these. Number 7, I think. Number 7, find out what time the convention starts. Get there early. Don't get there on time. Don't get there late. Because if you're there on time, there's usually going to be a big line to buy tickets. Sometimes they offer tickets in advance. Sometimes they don't. Usually they do, though. And yeah, I like to get there early. And if you get there late, that could be acceptable if you have like a weekend pass. But if you're only going for one day, then try to get there early. Number 8, this is connected to the food thing I was talking about. When you're not going out for lunch or dinner, during the convention or after the convention, make sure you bring some kind of food, snack, or drink with you, because when you're not eating, sometimes people get hungry, like myself. I'm always hungry. So I keep a thing of cashew with me. I keep a little thermal pack, which holds my yogurt. I keep a little bag of spinach, too. Also in the thermal pack, which has those little... They're not ice cubes, but you refrigerate them and they stay cool for a while. I forget what you call them. Not ice packs, but something similar. So I always bring that, because I do starve a lot, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So bring that. Also do research on what restaurants are nearby, if you don't want to eat peasant food. One of the worst things that could ever happen to you, if you don't like that kind of thing. Number 9, bring things that you want to get signed by the celebrity. There's usually a limit on how many things the celebrity will sign. That's, like personal items. I mean, usually the celebrities will have their own pictures, and that's fine. You can buy those pictures, but if you want to bring your own thing to get signed by the celebrity, like a book or a DVD cover, you can bring that too. Sometimes they charge, sometimes they don't. It's always different for each celebrity, but every celebrity is, of course, different. I met some celebrities who didn't charge anything. Like a lot of the voice actors I meet, they don't charge anything, but sometimes they do. So number 10, if you're going to do photo ops with a celebrity or plan to buy stuff at the convention, make sure you bring ample amount of cash. I don't like saying that because you might get pickpocketed, you might lose your cash, you might get robbed. But at a convention, you have to have cash. Because sometimes they don't, like the photo people, sometimes they only take cash. A lot of the vendors there will only take cash. The people that sell those awesome t-shirts, or toys or whatever you want to buy. So bring cash. I mean, the convention centers will have ATM machines, but there might be like a really lame charge, like $3 charge or a $4 charge if you're not part of the bank that the ATM thing is part of. Number 11, I think it's my last one here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I already touched on this. When you go to a convention, like a lot of these big conventions, like MetroCon or SuperCon or MegaCon, you're going to see tons of people wearing costumes. They call it cosplay because they get into character. I did it once, as I said, with my friend. I was Han Solo, she was Princess Leia. And you can try to stay in character. Some people don't. But it's cool because people will ask for your pictures. And, but yeah, anyways, you're going to see a lot of these people dressed up as, they're cosplaying. And you might like the costumes, and you might want to get a picture with them. I mean, they're cool with it if you ask them most of the time. So ask permission, guys. And also, some of the vendors will have really cool items on their table. Don't just take a picture of it. You have to ask the vendors too. So always ask permission for whenever you take a picture of somebody. It's respectful. And yeah, that's all my advice I want to give you guys. And I'm gonna leave you guys some pictures of some of the celebrities I've met over my past few conventions that I've been to. Some of you have seen some of these pictures on Twitter, but I'm gonna post some new pictures as well. So yeah, I hope this advice comes handy to you guys. Most of my advice is mainly for people who go to conventions for to meet celebrities. I mean, that's my big thing, is to meet celebrities. Secondary is to get pictures with the other convention goers who wear awesome costumes. But yeah, leave your comments in the thing. If you plan to go to conventions in Florida, let me know. I'm most likely going to be there. And yeah, anything else? Leave here.
Alright, so these are the Weasley twins. Their names are James and Oliver Phelps from the Harry Potter series. They really are twins. This is Patrick Stewart and Gates McFadden from Star Trek The Next Generation. Patrick Stewart being really famous for other roles too. Will Wheaton from The Next Generation as well. He's also a famous board gamer. And here's Mr. Sulu from the original Star Trek series, and makes a lot of internet memes. And this is Alex Vincent, the child from Child's Play. And this is Ashley Birch and her brother from Borderlands 2. She plays Tiny Tina. And here's my Walking Dead cast. This is Chad Coleman, playing a more prominent role in this new season. And here's Emily Kinney, plays Maggie's sister. She's a very nice girl, also sings. And speaking of Maggie, here's Lauren Cohan. Very big star in the show. This is my Sergeant Frog cast. Here's Brina Palencia, who plays Tamama. And here's Todd Habercorn. He plays Keroro. That's the leader of the Coronian invasion. And finally, here's Cherami Lei. She plays Natsumi Hanata from Sergeant Frog. And here's Dante Basco. He plays Rufio and Hook. And he's also Prince Zuko in Avatar Last Airbender. Kyle and Sean, that's Teen Gohan and Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Very funny people. This is Maisie Williams, who plays Arya Stark in the Game of Thrones series, one of my favorite shows. Naomi Grossman from American Horror Story. Very friendly lady. And here are the comic book men. And I almost had lunch with these guys. The Asian guy got the same dish as I did. Here's Holly Marie Combs. She's kind of shy, but she's from the Charmed TV series. Pat Carroll, she plays Ursula from The Little Mermaid. I think that was made in '89, I believe. I forgot. Finally, here is Roger Bumpus. He plays Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. So I told him to look really grumpy for this picture.